Power 105.1 is the Breakfast Club. Good morning. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, a man whose song is #1 in 6 different countries right now.
Yes, Robin Thicke.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
How you guys doing?
How's everything?
Good to be back.
So
We're actually top 10 in 20 countries.
Yeah, we got lucky. You know, we released that video with the naked girls, and,
that helps.
And I guess the Europeans and the Brazilians, and you know, they took right to it.
You can put that on TV out there. You can't do that here.
Yeah, you can't do that here. You know, but yeah, so it's been great.
Right, and you got the blessings from Paula Patton to go ahead and have naked models.
Yeah, Paula believes violence is ugly and nudity is beautiful. You know, so.
She had to be there. She was there during that video, wasn't she?
No, she was working that day. No, she's good.
All right, well, we do love that song.
But Paula,
up here.
Paula's smart. She knows what to do. Like if I have a video with naked girls, when I come home, she got on booty shorts and a little lingerie, and she got the right song playing, and she starts dancing as soon as I walk in the door.
Oh, nice.
So she know how to win that game. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, yesterday I pissed Mr. Thicke off. Didn't mean
Didn't
to.
piss me off. I just didn't know. I didn't realize that your sense of humor.
That he was.
Nobody warned me about your sense of humor.
Curse.
Oh,
but the funny thing was
after
after I left, then I started to come up with my own jokes that I was going to get Charlemagne back.
I wish I would have said this.
No, he did hit me with a good one. He said, "You look like you haven't cracked a smile since 1996."
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
But you know, it was an unfair comparison that was made actually by envy.
Oh, blame it on me.
And not me.
There's always envy's fault.
You know. But
No, I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Robin Thicke.
Yes.
A lot of times things do go left up here, and it always somehow gets blamed on Charlemagne, even if he doesn't say it.
Oh, so you blame me too?
Yes.
No, I wasn't there, but I'm just saying it happens a lot.
Because he brought up the comparison, which has been a good comparison.
Which is fair enough, yeah.
But it's actually not on your fault. It's the fact that they compared Justin Timberlake to you.
Right.
When he came out with the Suit and Tie record.
I said when I heard Suit and Tie, I thought it was Robin Thicke. It's a Robin Thicke feeling song. And that's what I said.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I still feel that way.
And then I agree with that, but I also agree with you saying that he's made that type of music before. It's not like he's completely switched up his style. He always made R&B pop music. You know
I think y'all are two totally different lanes.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, we do our, I think the great thing about it is just like Rihanna and Beyonce or all these different artists, there's plenty of room for everybody when you're making good music, you know what I mean?
And I bet you're so sick of people doing this, though, the whole Justin Timberlake comparison.
Well, we're both white. We both came from the culture of Michael Jackson and Prince and Marvin Gaye and Al Green, so we have a lot of the same inspirations, so it's inevitable that
and you both have actresses as wives.
We both have actresses as wives.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, there's some similarities there.
But it's a fun fact that Robin Thicke has 90% of the he has a 90% African American audience. That's more than any
African
white
American
artist,
female.
yes, has ever had.
Yeah. So in other words, if you want to get lucky, go to a Robin Thicke show.
Yes.
Yes. Because he can't bang him because he's banging up Miss Paula Patton.
That's what my friends love hanging out with me because they're like, man, the girls just be hanging around and you don't touch none of them. So.
Yeah, the girls love Robin Thicke.
Is it easy when you're doing a show like Real Husbands of Hollywood, or is it hard rather when Kev makes jokes about wanting to bang Paula all the time? No,
because you know that's comedy. Like Kevin and I, the great thing was Kevin and I actually met at Chris Paul's wedding only about a year ago. And when we met, I started doing my impersonation of Kevin for Kevin.
Gotcha.
On the block, holding it down, gun on my waist, straight face. So I'm doing the whole thing for Kevin because I know his whole stand-up. And we hit it off right away. And then a couple months later, he called me up. He was like, man, I'm doing this new show. I want to sit down and talk to you about it. We went to dinner and we laughed for hours like we were best friends from high school. You know what I mean? So that's why the show was so much fun and easy to do because him and I just had similar tastes in comedy.
And then he said you aren't a comedian, so you wanted to get back into doing what you do.
Well, no, the thing was, honestly, is that I was going to do the new season, and then this song started taking off. And I didn't have the time. I had to finish the album, and I didn't have the time to do the new season.
Okay.
Even though I wanted to, it just because everything was taking off, I had to get this album done.
And then you also have that show Duets, right?
No, Duets was just a one-time summer deal. Yeah.
Okay, for some reason I thought it was an ongoing thing.
No, that was just for fun last summer.
Okay.
But don't you think you can do both? Like, don't you think being on Real Husbands of Hollywood can help, your record sales?
I do. I think it was fun, like, just to do it once. The problem is that once you start to repeat, then you kind of start repeating storylines, repeating jokes. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I felt like it was great that one season. And for me, I also am getting into screenwriting and directing. I have a short film that I'm directing next week that I wrote, and so I really want to get into some other things creatively. And I felt like that was great that one time, and I didn't want to sully that by doing it again and not being as good as the first season.
What's that short film about? We don't have a title. Like
it's called Mercy. It's called Mercy, actually. It's about a year ago I saw this story on the news where this man shot and killed his wife after 40 years of marriage because they couldn't afford the the health care anymore. She had cancer for 5 years, and they were being evicted that day. And he shot and killed his wife, called the police, and said, the gun will be on the television, and I'll be waiting for you on the porch. And I thought about my wife, who I've been with for 20 years, since we were teenagers, and I was like, man, what if we lost all our money due to sickness and couldn't afford our health care? And so it really hit home, so I wrote this short film about the healthcare industry and the effect it has on small-town civilians, you know what I mean? And a lot of the people that have been forgotten and have lost all their money paying these healthcare bills. So it was a very poignant story that hit home, and I felt it was a good way for me to make a short film to get into the film business.
Gotcha.
Now, when you do your music, it's from personal experiences? Right?
Always, yes.
Now, so when you're arguing with wifey, right, and you get into an argument, do you say, hold on right fast? No, let me write this down right fast, and then you start writing it down while she's arguing with you? Or do you just...
I do a lot. There was one song from my last album that was very specific to that, where she said, you don't know what it's like to be black, and you don't know what it's like to be a woman. And I was like, I can't.
There's no argument there.
You win. I'm going to argue with that. So I wrote a song called I Don't Know How It Feels to Be You, because it was about I don't know what it's like to, as much as I try to understand, or as much as I try to put myself in your shoes, I'll never know what it's like to be black in America, and I'll never know what it's like to be a woman.
You should have told her, you don't know what it's like to be white, and you don't know what it's like to be a man.
You know how hard it is to be a white man.
Married to a black woman. How much scrutiny I got to go through? Is that a constant argument in an interracial relationship, though?
Well, I think it shows up because society makes it show up. You know,
Wow,
I mean, there's not enough. I mean, just take Hollywood for example. If her and Will Smith are going to do a movie together, the studio might say, "Oh, we don't want to do double ethnic," but they ain't never said that about 2 white people.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just the fact that they'll put 7 white people in a movie, but they won't put 2 black leads in a movie.
I never heard that, double ethnic.
Double ethnic.
Unless it's Tyler Perry. Then they put 9 in the
Unless
movie.
it's Tyler Perry,
They put 9.
yeah.
Now, also, Charlemagne gave Donkey of the Day to Michael Jordan.
See, here you go. This is how the problems always start.
What?
Well, Charlemagne.
I'm telling the truth.
I don't know where you're going with this.
You did. And
Okay.
you sang at Michael Jordan's wedding.
Yes.
How was the wedding, and how do you feel with Michael Jordan getting married at age 50?
Oh, I think it's great. You know, I mean, we all need love, you know, and that just proves it doesn't matter how much money you have or how famous or incredible or popular you are. We all want to find love before it's said and done. And Michael is a romantic. You know, he knows all of my love songs are his favorite songs. So it was really flattering for me because I'm sitting there on the stage singing the first dance, and him and his lady knew all the words. They were singing the words to each other and stuff, and he's sitting there going like this to me. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's Michael Jordan.
Were you singing your own records?
He was singing. He knew, you know, he picked the 4 songs he wanted me to sing.
Gotcha.
He was very specific about the love songs that her and him had enjoyed together.
What were the 4 songs?
One was called You're My Baby, one was called The Sweetest Love, one was Just Right, and the other one was Two Lovebirds. So they weren't even the hits.
Not
He
even
didn't say Lost Without You?
No, he didn't want Lost Without You. He wanted the love songs, you know what I mean? So
He didn't want to hear Lost Without You. He wanted that chick to know, look, I can do good without you. Okay, you'll be lost without me. Exactly.
Yeah.
So did he pay you in Jordans? That's what I wanted. Did he pay you in Jordans?
No. He paid in cash.
I bet he did. They said that wedding was $10 million.
Now, hypothetically speaking,
I believe there were like 2,000 people there.
Hypothetically speaking, you hope this don't happen. You and Paula Patton get a divorce. You're 50 years old.
Why would you say that? Why would you even throw that out there?
They still love you.
It's hypothetical.
Yeah, they still love you as an R&B singer.
Yeah.
What's the point of getting married? You got all these young chicks you can still bang. You got a lot of money.
I don't know. I guess it's just like I was talking with some friends last night who are very successful, and you know we were talking about how the grass is greener on the other side, and I think that there's something. It just depends on the kind of person you are. Like some people, they can put all their time in their career and then frolic, you know, a little bit. And some people really want that family connection, that maybe they grew up with a family and they want that again. Or maybe they have such a tight family that they don't need to get married. Maybe they're still got their mom living next door, or got their, you know what I mean? So I think it just depends on the person. For me, my music is about love and romance and connection and hope. So for me, I need that relationship to feel steady. Otherwise, I might just go crazy.
Right,
and
or
kill
maybe
myself.
it's that one time when you're passed out on the floor.
Kill yourself.
No, not kill myself, but kill myself with fun.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I might go too far.
All right, there you go.
But
that sounds better.
But it could be that time where you're passed out on the floor near death, and you realize, who am I going to call to come and take care of me?
Why does this story sound familiar?
This is what happened to Charlemagne.
That was you. Don't you remember
He was passed out on the floor.
Like a little girl?
Now, let me tell you, before that incident, he was running around, doing all these different things with different women. But then when you're near death
You got sick.
on the floor, and you're saying to yourself, you know what? I'm giving up all these women. I just want to be with the mother of my child and nobody else.
And then what happened, Yee?
I'm going to marry her.
And then what happened?
I went
Then
to
he
the
got
doctor
better.
and realized it was just dehydration.
That's not a good enough reason.
But don't you want that somebody that could just take care of you?
I got that.
regardless?
That's the mother of my child. I don't have to get married for that to happen. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I don't believe in marriage. I believe in polygamy. I think that men should be allowed to have more than one woman.
Yeah, old school.
And I think it's going to get back to that point because of the way the world is going. It's a lot of guys that are homosexual, which is cool, and there's a lot of guys that just aren't successful.
So girls are going to run out of options?
Absolutely.
Well, why not? Okay, well, why not just have an open relationship then?
Yeah, let her knock off some dudes.
That's not the way God would want it.
Oh,
that's not the way God intended.
Yeah, that's not the way He intended it.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. So this album, what's the name of the album?
The album is called Blurred Lines.
Blurred Lines, the name of the album.
Yeah, because I've realized as I've gotten older that we all think we're living either in a black or white world, or on the straight path, but most of us are living right in between those straight lines, and everything that you thought you knew, the older you get, you realize, dang, I don't know nothing about this, right? And I better pay attention. I better listen and keep learning, So I think that's what I've been realizing in the last couple of years.
Was there any reason where you I noticed on this single it was pretty fast. Like this is like the first 120 tempo, like that. You're blurring that pop line.
Yeah. Well, I think the last year I've been wanting to have more fun. I think I took myself very seriously as an artist, and I wanted to be like Marvin Gaye and John Lennon and Bob Marley and these great artists and songwriters, and Stevie Wonder that sang about love and sang about relationships. And then the last year, my wife and I just really wanted to have fun again. We wanted to be young again. We wanted to dance again and go out with our friends. And so I wanted to make music that reflected that culture also,
You're also the face of one of my favorite drink, which is Remy Martin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, my wife and I did that commercial for Remy Martin, and Remy Martin's been great for us. They paid for the video, the Blurred Lines video, and we have a great worldwide relationship. They're taking me out to Europe next week to do some stuff in France. So Remy Martin's been great for us.
So I know you do drink, but somebody mentioned that you're trying to stay sober. So what are you cutting down?
I'm trying to cut down right now. I started, there's a fine line between being a heavy drinker and an alcoholic.
Oh, Angelina.
We're on the alcoholic side over here, Robbie.
That line.
So
you're not an alcoholic.
An alcoholic means you're willing to throw everything away for your drink. You know what I mean? So I'm making sure that I don't get to that point. So I'm just slowing down right now.
And that's not true. Listen, we make it to work on time every single day.
Yes.
At least I do.
Didn't you get pulled over yesterday?
I wasn't driving.
But you was drunk. And it was your car.
I wasn't driving.
Well, she was being responsible.
Yeah.
And if a fight breaks out,
that's the responsible thing to do. I wasn't driving.
And it's funny because if a fight breaks out in the club, first thing we do is grab the bottles. We don't even run for safety. It's like grab the bottles.
Grab the bottles first.
Absolutely.
So are you planning on doing more movies now, directing?
Yeah. Well, actually, after I wrote this short film, I wrote a long form film, also a different movie, the screenplay that I just finished that I'm hoping to make. That's for Paula, that as the starring role.
What if she doesn't want to do it? Or?
No, she loves it. Obviously, she helped me through. She went to USC Film School and graduated magna cum laude, so she knows so much about the history of film and how to make movies. And she started. She wasn't an actress, actually. At first, she made documentaries. She was a documentary filmmaker, so she knows so much about movies, and I'm a movie fan. So having her in the house,
nice.
Every time I get stuck on my script, she knows exactly what to do or what the characters need, so she helps me get through my.
When's
writing.
the last time you two went on vacation?
Oh, way too long. We keep talking about it, but the best we get to do once in a while is we let the baby go over to grandma's for a couple days, and we'll go stay in a hotel and feel like we're on vacation.
Nice.
Now you still make a lot of traditional R&B music. Do you ever get pressured by like the label because you're white? You make the fist pumping stuff.
Of course. And on this new album, I did. I worked with Will.i.am and I got a record with Will.i.am with 2 Chainz and Kendrick Lamar on it. Wow. That's going to be the second single that's really exciting, and it's up there. It's a club banger. Yeah, I'll play it for you guys before I leave. But yeah, I wanted to make. But then the funny thing is, so I worked with all these other producers, like the guys who did like a G6 and all this stuff. And then just recently, I started writing more songs, and I'm starting to kick a lot of those songs off the album for my kind of music. Do you know what I mean? So it's funny. Even when I try to do it, I like it at first, and then a few months later, I'm like, it just don't sound like me. It don't feel right. You know what I mean? It starts to feel kind of cold and distant. You know what I mean? As opposed to my music normally has a real heart and a soul to it and a feeling. And so once I do that cold stuff, it just starts to get thin to me. You know what I mean?
So what happens with those songs that you kick off the album?
I don't know, maybe mixtape or maybe, re-release
Sell it to
them
somebody.
or as bonus tracks or something, But I mean, they're good records, but they just, they
it's
just
not
don't.
you. It's
they don't,
not,
like, they don't,
it
they don't
doesn't
last.
have that emotional.
They don't last,
Right.
They're only good for a few months. And
I
then
know
you
what you
don't
mean.
care
It's like
about it
songs
anymore.
like that kind of anybody could do.
Anybody could do it, yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be tied to one certain artist.
Right, and because I've always written and produced my own music, that's been good and bad. That's why sometimes it hasn't been as commercial, but it always came from the heart, So I'm trying to stick with that and not fall victim to that. Hey, we need you to sound like Usher or something. You know what I mean?
You still write for the artists?
No, I got out of that years ago. I mean, once in a while, like if Usher or Mary J or somebody, you know, that I really love calls and wants to do something, I'll definitely try.
Somebody worth it, you know.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem, it doesn't seem to be as natural, you know what I mean? Like, I was even in the studio with Chris Brown, you know, when he was making his album, and we happened to be next door to each other, and we went in and we had some fun. We wrote a couple jams together, but it still sounds more like Chris than me, you know what I mean? So it just doesn't always, it doesn't work that way.
Any of these guys out here inspire you now?
Oh, yeah.